Imagine getting paid as a speaker. You're able to talk on a subject that you really love, that really fascinates you, and that you know really well, and you have the opportunity to have an impact on the lives of other people, and you get paid. Talk about living the dream. That's what we're going to talk about in this video, getting paid as a speaker. Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Neil Fellows and I'm a speaker agent representing thought leaders and change makers. I started out in sales and marketing, then I became a speaker, then I mentored speakers on the business of speaking before I became a speaker agent. This means that I really get you. I get what it's like to be on stage, but I also get what it's like to build a business brick by brick as a speaker. But what's different about me though is that I get what it's like to be on the other side of the fence too, the booking side, and that's where I'm going to give you insights like you've never had before. The aim of this video series, How to Survive and Thrive as a Speaker, is to help you get more gigs and get paid more and get representation with an agency. Being able to speak in public and give presentations is an important skill for entrepreneurs, business leaders, coaches, authors, influencers and others. Some speakers begin almost accidentally, some follow a path more deliberately, and at some point along the way there's a realization that you could be paid for speaking. So let's explore how you get paid as a speaker. Let's look at two scenarios. The first scenario, you might be currently giving free presentations or maybe talks right now and you want to transition into getting paid. The second scenario, you might be getting paid already, but maybe you want to increase your fees. So let's look at these two scenarios. Let's take the example of giving free presentations and how you transition to get paid as a speaker. If you are a speaker who is in demand, it's quite easy to increase your fees because you've got demand, and it's quite natural to say, look, I have a presentation that's invaluable. People are seeking me out to book me, and I could therefore increase my fees. But that scenario, that is the exception and perhaps the dream, but it's not the norm. Some speakers, they might wake up one day and just decide that they're going to increase the amount that they charge, only to find that the opportunities dry up. And when you see this, you have to question the value that you're giving or the target audience that you're aiming to reach. So you could look at it like this. If you swim in the free gigs pond, then you have to reinvent how you operate in that pond, or you have to find a different pond to swim in. In video 2 in this playlist, I spoke about 3 levels of speakers. A new speaker, a speaker giving free talks, looking to get paid, is at level 1. To get paid consistently and get paid well, you will need to become a level 2 speaker. But to get there, you need to have a framework of presentations, and I would suggest a really solid methodology that is of real value in the marketplace. And creating something of real value does take a little bit of time and quite probably therefore needs some kind of financing, so that you can actually earn while you learn, and then you get to eat while you find your feet in speaking. So how do you do this? To bridge the gap between a level 1 speaker giving free talks and a level 2 speaker getting paid every time you walk out onto the stage, you need to create value. You create value by finding a topic that's invaluable in the marketplace, that excites you, that people are hungry to know more about, and that you can go deep into. Then what you do is you fund it by selling a product or a service that allows you to collate data and information and language that later informs your presentations. And as you progress, maybe even like a whole business model and maybe even a legacy that you can leave behind. You see, a level 1 speaker speaks really from their own experiences. It's often at a superficial or surface level, and it leaves the audience with very little value. It's like being invited out for a meal and then only being treated to the starter. When you sell a product or a service from stage that gives value, you get paid, and you are then funded to develop the research that later follows, and you're able then to give deeper value. And meanwhile, what you're doing is you're providing your audience with invaluable additional help and support that really benefits and changes their life in some way. But you have to get comfortable with selling. You have to learn how to sell from the stage properly and be comfortable with that, or it comes off wrongly. You'll know if you're getting it wrong because you won't sell anything, you'll feel uncomfortable, and your audience will moan when they leave. But this is easy to correct. You just need to learn how to do it, and then you go out and you practice and you refine it along the way. If you want to learn how to fund your speaking career and get paid every time you walk out onto the stage, take a look at the video description of this episode, then click the link How to Sell from the Stage, and I'll show you exactly how you can sell from the stage and do it in a way that has comfort for you and integrity and gives value to your audience. When you can sell from the stage, you can always get paid, and that pays you to research your specific topic more and develop a keynote of depth and value, and it immerses your audience in something deeper and experiential as opposed to something just on the surface where the value is minimal. As people then hear you speak, it becomes obvious to them that you really do know your stuff. As this starts to happen, people in the audience will then begin to approach you and ask you if you could speak at their event or to their team. And now you get to charge a fee. And as one gig leads to another, your diary starts to fill up with more speaking opportunities, and then you get the chance to increase your fees. And this is what we at Stellar Speakers call a level 2 speaker. Now there's a third level to this where people start to seek you out and where demand and your fees can go even higher. Would you like to know more about that? Well, of course you would. I'm going to talk about that in the next episode in this series. I'm going to talk about that in episode 5. I thought it deserved a whole video dedicating to it, so that's why I'm going to deal with it in the next video. So underpinning everything I've just talked about in this video are your speaker assets. These are the conversion tools, the elements that help you nail bookings. You need these assets at every level, at level 1, at level 2, at level 3. And at every level, you need to be reviewing them and improving them. You can find out more about developing these assets in our Rising Stars program, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. If you found this video useful, please subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of all of our latest uploads. If you want to be taken seriously by an agent and speaker bookers, you want to make sure that all of your assets in place. Just because you've been on the speaking circuit for a couple of decades, maybe you've had some high paying gigs, it doesn't automatically mean that you are representation ready. But what will set you apart from other speakers is ensuring that your speaker assets are in place. At Stellar, we think of it like this. A star system is a constellation of stars with a gravitational pull. We think of your speaker assets as that gravitational pull, and we've developed a program called Rising Stars that walks you through how to create and update 8 critical assets we call essentials. We give you a directory of speaking stages, share speaking opportunities so you can get out on the circuit, give you invaluable industry insights helping you to spot the trends or build your understanding of certain niche sector in the market. We also give you templates, checklists and bonus video interviews, hand you quarterly trainings on hot topics and give you access to quality providers who can help you develop your assets. Best of all, once you've completed the program and developed your assets, we may even take you on and represent you. So you can find out more about Rising Stars. I'll add a link in the description and I'll see you in the next video.